conference will now be recorded.
Hey guys, welcome to the weekly watch list. So we have ES right here, and we can see we had this long-term uptrend here, and it broke down here, and it's kind of been consolidating sideways. We have this big push down and sideways action here. We are currently at 2,900, which is a very important level to hold. If that 2,900 can hold, then we can definitely push up above that 100-day moving average and try to get above that 50-day and push to 2,980 and 3,000 and test this long-term uptrend again. Now, if we break 2860, then we should fall down to 2810, which is about the 200-day moving average, then 2773. And then we have some weekly support here at 2726.86. So we have a squeeze forming on the daily. It's slightly going to neutral. It was positive. Now it's switching over, but we need to see how tomorrow goes. Tomorrow might be consolidation day. We could consolidate in this general area. But if we break this 2944, 2945, basically, that 50-day moving average, that's what this is. So the 50-day moving average, if we break above there, we'll go to 2980, then the 3000. Now, if we break below and break this uptrend to the downside, and you break 2862.29, that's a very, very good sign we're going to 200-day moving average. And we could push on down. We could see on the weekly chart we had a bullish engulfing. So we do have a squeeze forming to the downside. This bullish engulfing we could push up, but this is kind of consolidation. So unless this has follow through, this is just sideways action. So we need to have some follow through if this is really a reversal and holding that 50-day weekly. If it pushes up, then we could definitely come to test these all-time highs. But if we do lose it, we're going to hit that 50-day moving average at 2810, and then we're going to hit that 2773, which is that 100-day moving average on the weekly. Okay. So looking at the hourly chart, we have a descending triangle, and typically descending triangles are bearish. So they usually break down. And if this does break down, then it'll be going in 2880 and then 2862 to test that area. And if it breaks down, then we'll be going lower. Now, if this breaks up, then we're going to be going towards that 2940 area, 2930 first, and then 2945 area, and see if we break above there. So we're watching this pattern on ES, which is the S&P 500 futures. So we're seeing if, we're going to get tight here and we're going to break up or we're going to break down. We have the RSI below 50 and it's holding below. We have our DMI bearish and we have momentum to the downside. So it's, as of right now, it's signaling more downside, but we got to wait till the morning and see, because that 2900 has been holding pretty much all overnight session. So mentioned on Friday that we would come down and test that 2900 and see if it holds. If it does hold, we can definitely come back up. If it doesn't hold, we going down to test these levels over here. All right, so there's ES. So ES goes hand in hand with SPY. So let's take a look at SPY here. So SPY is in the same pattern as ES. We got a squeeze forming. It's kind of neutral currently. We did have a bearish candle on Friday on SPY right at resistance, top resistance. If we get above that 294.24, we could push to 296.70 and then 329.99 or 299.80, I believe it was. Let me zoom out here. Yep, 299.80, we could push there. If we break down and we break this 288.68, then we'll go to 285, then we'll go to 282.80, and then we'll go to that 279.79, which is that major target, the 200-day moving average. Looking at the hourly, we have the same type of pattern. We have that descending triangle pattern here at 29 or 290 area. So if we break down, we're going to break down and try to test this area. If we break up, we'll come back up and test 292.30 and then 294. So we'll be watching that. We'll be watching those levels. Now in between, oops, let's go to the daily. So in between this area right here, we can consolidate here for much longer until Thursday. That could definitely be a situation that it just chops in between here until Thursday comes, and then the announcement, if they announce it during the day, maybe we get some movement during the day, but most likely they won't announce it during the day. They most likely will announce it after hours on Thursday. So then the move will be taking place after hours Thursday and into Friday. So hopefully Friday gets some nice movement, nice continuation of whatever the situation is. So we're going to be in this consolidation unless the economic data on Tuesday and Wednesday are enough to move with the housing sales, or if not, then we're going to have to wait till Thursday and see if this breaks out up or down. All right, so that's SPY. Let's go to NQ. So NQ here, we got this consolidation that we've been in, bullish above that 77.35.74, which we can't get above. So here we have weekly support, which is right where it's been hanging out at today, and below this 75.26, we're gonna test this 73.65.46, and if we break that, then we should be going down to 7100, which is this weekly support, and if we can't hold that, then 7,000 and 69.41, and if we break that, then 6,700 should be coming. Now if we break above this 50-day moving average at 77.57, then we'll be coming up here to 80.65, 8100, and breaking all-time highs into 8200. Looking at the hourly chart, we could see that this has just been sideways into this, and we're trying to hold this weekly support at 76.2750. This correlates with QQQ. QQQ, this weekly support is 285.50. So if QQQ holds 285.50, it could push up higher. If it loses 285.50, then it could be dropping down. So we have this downtrend here. Right now it's breaking that downtrend, but it should reject and consolidate sideways. And we have this potential descending triangle, just like we had on ES. We do have a squeeze forming on the hourly. It just tried to fire down, but then got rejected by this candle here. So now we're back to neutral. RSI is still below 50, but it's right at 50, so it's trying to get above. And our indicators are bearish, but they're weakening. So right now it's still anybody's game until the morning. All right, so that's QQQ. Let's go to oil, see how crude futures are doing. So crude futures are in this big symmetrical triangle, and we had this head and shoulders that fired down and hit this 51 level, which was important, very strong level. It popped up, try to get back above, but hit this resistance here at 56.80 and pretty much hit it 3 times and sold off each time. So right now we have a squeeze forming. It was to the upside, but now it's losing strength, just like ES. So we got to see if it drops below 53.66. That's very short on oil. Definitely if it drops below 51, that's very, very bearish for oil. Now, if it breaks above 56.83, that's very, very bullish on oil. This one's going to go to 58 and then 60 if it could get above this 50-day moving average, and more importantly, 56.83. So if you're looking at oil, then you're looking, I would suggest Valero. Valero came down here. This is very strong support, popped back up. It almost hit that second price target. I'll be bullish on Valero if it gets above the 77, or actually even 76.80, but more importantly 77.55. If it gets above there, that's very, very bullish on oil. Now, if Valero gets below 74.50, that's very bearish, and it might come back and test these lows and may even break them to the downside. Okay, because we have a strong sell-off here on above average volume, and then this pushback is on very low volume. Don't like to see that in a bullish manner. If I see low volume, then that's suggesting to me that this is just short covering from this high volume, and once they unload their short covering, they're going to reshort it and take it down lower. So something to watch. If oil pushes, then this will push, but if it doesn't, then this is going to roll over. Okay. So let's go to BYND. So BYND pushed all the way up to 170, which is previous resistance. So, and this also the 50-day moving average. So it pushed all the way up here and stopped and made a reversal candle here. So now we're going to be watching it for the downside. If it breaks 166.70, breaks that, then it should fall to 162.30, and that's a good target for it to hit. Now, if 162.30 doesn't hold, then 156 should hold. That's really good support. As you can see here, it held it for 2 days in a row. So it should hold at 156. 162.30 is pretty good support, but if it doesn't hold, 156 should hold. If whatever reason 156 doesn't hold, then 150.50 should hold for bounce. So either bounce here or bounce here, or bounce here. But if this is lost, then it's definitely coming to 162.30. And if we break above 170 and break this high at 172.30, then this could go to 175. But that's pretty good resistance. So I think that we should see a pullback in BYND. All right, and if we keep falling, then we should be gap fill this area here, but that's quite a ways away. We need to surpass a lot of levels for that. So let's go on to target. So target had a nice breakout and push on good volume, but on Friday it made a very ugly candle. This one was an ugly candle, and this one was an uglier candle. So what I'm watching for target is if we break down 106.80, which it looks like it is doing after hours just right now, then it should hit 106 and then 105.30. That's going to be a good target, 105.30. And it could continue down even more, but those are the targets that I'll be watching for tomorrow if target stays below 106.80. Okay. So target BYND. Now let's go to shop. Now shop here. Shop had an ugly weekly candle close. So that was a indecision candle, and indecision candles typically are reversal candles. So this, whatever this week closes at, it's going to make the direction of shop. So if we continue higher, then it's going to depict that this week. If we drop lower, then it's going to depict that this week. As of right now, shop held the weekly support and it's held this channel. So now we bearish below 386, drop it down and it'll come back to 371. Or if it gets above 395.15, then that's very bullish, and we should push to 415 and even 430. So if we do lose 386 and we push down at 371, we'll be hitting 360 and then 348, and 348 should be good support for shop. And if we lose that, then these 50-day comes in to play to see if we hold that and maybe come back and hold this. So I'll be watching that. Shop. Okay, GLD. Now GLD, we have this long-term uptrend here, and every time we hit this uptrend, we pop up, consolidate, touch it, and then pop up, consolidate, touch it, and then pop up. So GLD does have a bearish divergence on the chart. We did make an indecision candle right below this this major level here, 144. So if we break down here on the hourly, because we're making this descending triangle. So if we break down, so after hours, it's above 144. But if we break 144 and more importantly, break 143.30, then we should go to 142.60, 141.80 and test that uptrend. We could even, push a little lower to 141.35 before reversing and then holding that uptrend. But if we hold above 144, that's very bullish, and we could push to 145.68 and 147 and then 148. So that's something to watch. That 144 area, if it holds, then it's bullish. If it doesn't hold and it doesn't hold 143, then it's very bearish to the downside. We do have a squeeze forming on the hourly, and it looks like it's to the upside, so that's a good indication that we might continue to push up. Now, we'll see if that changes in the morning. All right, so shop, BYND, target, GLD, CL, and then now the Dow. The Dow here, we have that bearish pennant, that ascending triangle. So we have that squeeze on the daily. We do have low volume, so we could consolidate still a little while, a couple more days until it decides it wants to break above 26,550 to push to 26,911 and 27,350, or we break down 25,887, which is this uptrend here, and then we come down to 25,32, then 24,389 and 23,570. So we'll be watching that, see which way it breaks. If it consolidates for a few days, just don't trade it. Don't try to force something. Just wait for the break. Break up, break down, just be patient and let it work. It's gonna end up breaking up or breaking down. So once it does, it's gonna continue that direction for a day or so. So let it just work. Let it work out and then jump in the trade when it decides where it wants to go. And once it decides where it wants to go, then you can make money. All right, guys. So that's what I'm watching this week. Hopefully make some money on it.